Hey, what's up guys? My name is Ilyas and welcome to your 23rd tutorial on jQuery. And in the previous tutorials we created this portfolio user interface and we added this overlay and frame. But right now currently we don't see any frame, we see only a large picture right here. So we don't want this picture to be that large and we want to see the frame. So let's just go ahead and write some CSS code in order to see that. So we have an image inside of this frame div element right here, and we are going to style this image element. So we can use jQuery to, the CSS selectors to grab this image, which is inside of this frame. And what we are going to do, let's see how large the frame is. The frame has width of 700 pixels, and let's set the image frame to 660 pixels so that we have like 20 pixels on the left and 20 pixels on the right, white space. And we don't need to set the height because the height should be calculated automatically. And let's take a look. So now we have this image, but it's not centered yet. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add margin left on 20 pixels. So just basically move the picture 20 pixels to the right. And now we have equal borders on the left and on the right. But there's something we're missing. We want to have a border on the top and on the bottom as well. So we'll just add some internal space to this frame by using padding. So I'll just say padding top should be 20 pixels and padding bottom should be 20 pixels. And now we have a perfectly done frame. But there is something I still don't like about this frame. I want to have a space between the header and the frame, and we can use it by do it by using margin top. I'll just say 15 pixels. And now we have our frame is like perfectly in the center of the page, and we have this border and stuff. So, and the next thing I want to do, and we are going to use jQuery for this part. When we click on the overlay, on this black overlay, we want this picture to disappear and go back to the normal state. So let's create a selector. We can actually just copy this code, but I will write it so that we walk through it very slow and you guys can follow along. So when we click on the overlay, I'll just add this click event function. We want the following things to happen. We want this overlay to disappear first, so I'll just say overlay, or I can use this selector as well, because this selector will refer to the element which is clicked, and in this case it's overlay. So we can say this fade out. So we can fade out the overlay, and we want to fade out the frame. So let's just select the frame and say fade out. So goodbye frame. Yep. So now we are done. And now let's just see what's going to happen. We open the image, and then we click on the overlay, and it's magic, and it works. And so now we can browse these pictures in a very nice and fancy way. And but there's something I want to add to this portfolio. I want to change the cursor to the pointer. So you know, in HTML, if you hover over a link, this arrow transfers to a hand, and so the user knows that this thing is clickable. Right now, it doesn't look like it's clickable. So we can go to our CSS, and we can copy the selector of portfolio list image, and then you put a colon and say hover. And what it means, that means that this selector will work when we hover over this element. And we can say cursor pointer. And the same for the overlay. Overlay hover cursor pointer. and the same for the frame image. So frame image hover cursor pointer. Now let's see what's gonna happen. We hover over it and we see this hand, and when we go to the frame we don't see the hand, and when we go right here we see the hand. And when we click to the overlay, well, overlay doesn't work for some reason. I'll just try like this. Overlay. Yep. Now overlay works as well. So this is something what we wanted to do in this tutorial, and in this next tutorial we want to add the feature so that you can scroll between the images. So we will create like little arrows on the right and on the left, which will appear when you hover over a certain area here. And we can also create a feature of displaying some text or some description below. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you learn new stuff, and I'll see you guys in the 24th tutorial. Have a nice